So first of all, what's the core thesis? It is that the fastest way for you to get what you want is to make your success depend on helping other people get what they want. Most people think that this is selfless, but that's not the case. It's actually the most intelligent form of selfishness, all right? Because if your audience wins, you get views. If your clients win, you get proof. If your community wins, you get word of mouth. If your market trusts you, you get demand. And that's how you beat everyone. And short-term selfishness extracts, but the long-term selfishness compounds. So the first point is that chasing what you want directly makes you lose. So let me explain. Most people chase their outcomes directly. They want followers, they want sales, they want status, they want recognition, they want money, and they want freedom. But when you chase those things directly, people can feel that. I'm sure you have experienced this yourself when you're watching a creator or an entrepreneur, and you can feel that they're actually talking and something in their voice is telling you that they're not actually doing it for you, but they're doing this just to make money. And it's not a bad thing, but it definitely turns us off, right? And we developed, as you probably know, evolutionarily to pick up these things, right? You probably had this feeling as well when you meet someone in person, let's say, and you can just feel that something feels off, like something is wrong about the person. And you can't really put a finger on it, but we all know, and that intuition is usually correct because we developed like that. Like back then, if you trusted someone and you shouldn't have trusted them, and they actually were hiding something, you could die, you could be dead, you could be killed. So it was very important to pick up on these subconscious signs. And that's why we got so good at this. So whenever people see these signs in your way of talking, etc., it turns them off. So because people can feel that and it's not gonna work, you actually want to convince yourself that you actually want to do what people want. And here's how you do it. And the reason this is bad and why you can actually be inauthentic and people can feel this is because whenever we are focused on what we want directly, whether it's 100K a month or whether it's our content to do well or followers, right? Let's say if we want followers, then we start making content for the algorithm instead of the people. Or we make content that we think people want. And it ends up being not something that we want, neither what people want. And if you want sales, for example, your content starts feeling like a pitch and not something that's valuable. If you want status, you start trying to look impressive instead of being useful. And people can also recognize that, and you become less impressive by trying to be impressive. If you want money, you build the offer you want to sell instead of the offer that the market wants to buy. And neediness is visible. We can feel it, we can see it, and that actually stops you from growing. People can feel when your content is trying to take from them instead of giving it to them. Now, what's my honest realization? Because I didn't know this back then, right? That's why I'm making this video. It's that I used to think that the next milestone would change everything, right? So I wanted my first big income month. Years ago, I had my first 20K a month from a faceless YouTube channel that I had, which was my previous business. And honestly, this was one of the emptiest months of my life. I spent almost all month, most of the day watching just YouTube videos, just like the dumb YouTube videos, just entertainment, because I thought, then what? Like, what am I gonna do next, right? And it was one of the worst months of my life, truly, genuinely. I had the money, especially for me from Armenia, it's a lot of money, but I was still lost. And then later, I wanted more. You know, I thought maybe the problem is that 20,000 wasn't much, so I need maybe status, right? And I wanted, if I hit 100,000 followers on Instagram, and if I have a blue check mark, and if enough important people follow me, then I'll finally feel the way that I expected. I'll feel, I don't know, somehow it will all become magically confident, or everything will become smooth and etc. But it didn't happen, right? It felt very empty, and I achieved it, and I thought, hey, no one cares. I stopped caring about my 100K followers or the blue check mark 1 hour after getting it, not even one day. And I never thought about it since, and it's been a long time, many years since that happened. So I thought that maybe that's not enough, you know. So I need to keep going. So maybe I need to hit my first 100K month. And I did that as well, which was over a year ago at this point, when we won a business competition from Hormozi. And we 21x'd our business in 90 days. It was documented by Skool.com as well officially. And it felt empty as well. So even that goal that I thought, you know, when I hit 100K month, finally it's gonna feel different, it also didn't. And this is very common. This is not only with me. There are so many clients that I have as well that they think, when I'm gonna finally do it, you know, when I finally hit 100K month, everything will change. And they get there and they realize that nothing changes. Internally, of course, you can do a lot of good with that money and it's worth it, but it's not gonna magically change who you are, right? So then I thought, okay, maybe it's meeting people, right? Meeting my heroes. So I met Hormozi in person, I met some of us in person, I became an investor in Skool.com, which they are co-founders in, and I got closer to rooms in person that I only used to dream about and to watch online. And again, I'm super grateful for all of this because all of this completely changed my life. But none of it created the long-lasting and the consistent fulfillment that I thought it would give me. Because from the outside, we could say, hey, it's undeniable success. Of course, relative terms, there are people that are billionaires at my age, right? Or were billionaires at my age, so that happens. But on average, you can say that at my age, I'm soon gonna be 24, hitting the things, the milestones that I've hit. People say, hey, you're young, you achieved this thing, you helped so many people, blah, blah. It was supposed to, as if, feel different, but it didn't. When I got there, the truth is that, hey, it doesn't feel at all like how I thought it's gonna feel. And I got the things that I wanted, and they still didn't solve the deeper problem. Now, what's the real turning point? Everything changed when I found this overlap. What I wanted and what other people wanted. And here's why it's super important. I wish I knew this back then. When I was trying to grow YouTube channels, the hardest moments were when I only thought, how do I grow this channel? How do I get more subscribers? How do I make people to work for me? Or make people work for me, make this work for me, get the views. So I was only focused on me and what I want. But the moment I found formats that I liked making and people genuinely found useful, it became different. Not easy, right? But it became way more natural. Because now what I wanted and what the audience wanted were aligned. I wanted to make the content, they wanted to watch the content. I wanted growth, they wanted the value. I wanted subscribers, they wanted useful videos. And that's when growth became more sustainable. Because business starts to feel less like manipulation and more like alignment when you focus on the intersection of what you want and what other people want, not only what you want. Now, a lot of these trainings are available for free with all of the templates, AI tools, private feedback for you to be able to implement in your business. And guess what? It's absolutely free. So if you're interested, the link will be down below in the description and you can apply to join there.